Hello friends, in last lecture we were solving questions related to the substitution method. So we'll continue with the same. So here is the first question that I am taking from exercise 1, question number 12. Exercise 1, question number 12. Okay, question says that solve 2x plus 3y is equal to 11. Solve 2x plus 3y is equal to 11 and 2x minus 4y and 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. Hence find the value of m for which hence find the value of m for which y is equal to mx plus 3. Okay, so first of all we have to solve the pair of equation, and from here we have to find the value of x, and then we have to find the value of x and y, and then we have to find the value of m. That means that value that we obtain from solving this equation we have to substitute over here to get the value of m. So let us see how to solve this. Okay, so as we are in substitution method, so we'll solve it by that only. Okay, so given equations are 2x plus 3y is equal to 11, 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. Okay, these are the given equations. So as I discussed in our earlier classes, we have to obtain the value of any one variable from any one equation, and that value will substitute in another equation. So from second, see I am taking second because here it is 2x, 4y, 24, all are divisible by 2. So that's why I am taking this. So from equation 2, 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. So 2x is equal to 4y minus 24. Therefore x is equal to 4y minus 24 divided by 2. So ultimately x is equal to 2y minus 12. Okay, this is the value of x. Now we have to substitute this value of x in equation number 1. So try to do it by your own. I am giving you 1 minute, then I will give you its remaining solution. Okay, so first of all let it be equation number 3. Now putting x is equal to 2y minus 12 in equation number 1. So at minus 12, okay, plus 3y is equal to 11. So here I do get 4y minus 24 plus 3y is equal to 11. So here 4y plus 3y gives you 7y is equal to 11 plus 24. 7y is equal to 35. So y is equal to 5. So here I obtain the value of one variable. Now I will put this value of y either in 1 or 2 or in third, but as I told you, I always prefer third one. Now putting y equal to 5 in equation third, we get, okay, let's see what we'll get. X is equal to 2 into 5 minus 12. Therefore, x is equal to 10 minus 12, that is minus 2. So here I obtain the value of x as well. Okay, so we can say x equal to minus 2 and y equal to 5 is a solution of the given pair of equation. Okay, now what we have to do next? Next we have to find the value of m for which y equal to mx plus c. So now put x equal to minus 2 and y equal to 5 in y equal to mx plus 3. So y is equal to m multiplied by minus 2 plus 5, 3. Okay, and y is 5. So 5 is equal to minus of 2m plus 3. Okay, y equal to mx plus c. So in this way, here I do get 5 is equal to minus 2m plus 3. So 5 minus 3 is equal to minus 2m. 2 is equal to minus 2m, and hence I can say m is equal to minus 1. So this is the value of m. Okay, so this is the final answer. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now we'll see question number 13th. Okay, now we'll start question number 13. This is uh, form the pair of linear equation for problems and find their solution by substitution method. In this first one, so first we'll see question number 13. It's first one. Question 13. It's first one. The difference between two numbers is 26. Two numbers is 26. The difference between two numbers is 26, and one number is 3 times the other, and one number is 3 times the other. Okay, so this is a word problem. We used to see these are the words problem. So first of all, you have to form two equations and then you have to solve them by method of substitution. So let us see how to solve this. Okay, they are talking about two numbers, so we'll assume first number is x, another number is y. And as they are talking about the difference, that means definitely one number will be greater than another. So we also assume that x is greater than y or y is greater than x. That depends on you. So suppose the numbers are x and y, x greater than y. Okay, we assume that x is greater than y, so that when we write difference, we do write x minus y. If I assume y is greater than x, then for the difference or for the first equation, I have to write y minus x. Okay, now difference of the numbers is 26. Therefore, I can write x minus y is equal to 26. This gives me first equation. Okay, now one number is 3 times the another, but obviously the greater number will be 3 times of the smaller one, isn't it? Because one number is 3 times the other one, so greater number must be 3 times the smaller number. Okay, now one number is 3 times the other. Therefore I can write x is equal to 3y. The greater one is equal to 3 into a smaller one. Okay, and if I write this in equation form, I will get x minus 3y is equal to 0. However, this is as we have to use substitution method, and over there we used to find the value of one variable in terms of another. So here we directly got x equal to 3y. So I can consider this is as equation 2 itself, isn't it? Here directly I got one variable in terms of another variable, so that saves my time. So now putting x is equal to 3y in first, we get. Okay, now when we put x equal to 3y in equation 1, what we will see? So x equal to 3y. So 3y minus y is equal to 26. Okay, simply what I did, at the place of x, I took 3y. So 3y minus y is 26. Therefore, y is equal to 13. So here I got my first number, y is equal to 13. Now when I put y equal to 13 in equation 2, I do get second number. Now putting y is equal to 13 in equation 2, we get what we get. x is equal to 3 into 13, therefore x is equal to 39. Here we got both the numbers. That was the thing that we have to find. The only thing that we can do, that we can verify our answer. Is the greater number is 3 times of the smaller? Yes, the greater is 3 times of the smaller. If you multiply 13 by 3, you will get 39. As well as the difference of two numbers. So 39 minus 13 is 26. So this verification is also done. Now finally I do write the concluding result statement. Thus 13 and 39 are the required numbers, or we can write thus the numbers are 13 and 39. So I hope this is clear to you. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now we'll see the third part of the question number 13th. Okay, so this is the next question. The taxi charges in a city consist of a fixed charge together with the charge for the distance covered. That means there is a fixed charge, that means that you have to pay, and the remaining portion of the charge is based on how much distance you will cover. So, and with the charge for the distance covered. Now for a distance of 10 kilometer, the charge is paid rupees 105. That means if a person travels 10 kilometer, he has to pay one fixed charge and remaining with respect to the 10 kilometers, and by adding them, total amount paid is 105. Okay, now one more condition is given, and for a journey of 15 kilometer, again there is a fixed charge and remaining amount based on the distance travel, that is 15 kilometer, and this total will be equal to 155. Okay, so what we have to find, what are the fixed charges and what are the charges per kilometer. For example, if fixed charge is rupees 5 and at the basis of per kilometer charge is suppose rupees let it be 10 and suppose rupees 5. Okay, now if a person travels 2 kilometers, how much he has to pay? First 10 rupees definitely he has to pay, because this is the fixed charge, and as he traveled 2 kilometers, so for 5 at the rate of rupees 5, again he has to pay rupees 20. So in total this will become 20. I just give you example. Now what are the fixed charges and per kilometer charges in this case are that we have to find. So let us assume the fixed charge be rupees x and the charge per kilometer is rupees y, and then we have to form two equations, and by solving them, substitution method will be able to get the values of x and y, and after obtaining that we have to find that how much that person has to pay if he travels a distance of 25 kilometers. So let us see, suppose fixed charge is rupees x and that of and the charge per kilometer and charge per kilometer is rupees y. Okay, we assume that fixed charges are rupees x and the charge per kilometer is rupees y. Okay, so now we'll see the first equation. Now one has to pay rupees 105 for 10 kilometers. Now charge paid for 10 kilometers is rupees 105. Okay, so in this there is a fixed charge, so definitely I can say x, that is a one of the portion of the total 105. Okay, here I should write 105. So fixed charge plus, see, charge per kilometer is rupees y, that means for 1 kilometer it will be rupees y, for 2 kilometer it will be 2 into y, so for 10 kilometer it will be 10y, isn't it? So this will become x plus 10y is equal to 105. This is equation number 1. Now similarly, as here it is given charge for 10 kilometer is rupees 105, we have one more information that charge for 15 kilometer is rupees 155. So here I will get the second equation. Now charge for or charge paid for 15 kilometers is rupees 155. Okay, therefore I will get, again definitely I will take the fixed charge plus for 1 kilometer it is y, so for 15 kilometer it will be 15 multiplied by 5, and when I add these two charges, that is fixed charge and charge for 15 kilometers, the person paid rupees 155. So this gives me second equation. Now after obtaining the equation, it is very easy to find the solution. Now what we will do, as here we have to use substitution method, so from this or from any one equation we can obtain the value of one variable. Here I will go with this. So from here I can say, therefore x is equal to 155 minus 15. This is the equation number 3. Now next what I have to do, I have to put the value of x from this in equation number 1. So here I do write, now putting x is equal to 155 minus 15y in equation 1 we get. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to put this value in equation 1. Why in equation 1? Because I obtained this from second, so I will put it in first. So x plus 10y, at the place of x I have to write 155. Okay, so this will become 155 minus 15y plus 10y is equal to 105. So this gives me minus 15y plus 10y is equal to 105 minus 155. So this will be minus 5y is equal to minus 50. Okay, so from here I do get the value of 5. Therefore, y is equal to 10. That means charge per kilometer is rupees 10. Okay. Now next what we have to find? We have to find the uh, okay, here do write rupees in last step. Now I'll put the value of y, that is equal to 10. Okay, y equal to 10 in equation number 3. Okay. Now putting y equal to 10 in equation 3, we get, okay, so this is x is equal to 155 minus 15 multiplied by 10. Therefore x equal to 155 minus 150, and hence x is equal to 5. That means fixed charge is rupees 5. Okay, so this is over and out. Now here I will write the concluding line. Okay, thus fixed taxi charge is rupees 5 and charge per kilometer is rupees 10. Okay, charge per kilometer is rupees 10 and fixed charge is rupees 5. I hope this is clear to you. So please note it down. Okay, now we'll see question number 5th. Question 13th, its 5th part. Okay, a fraction becomes 9 by 11. A fraction becomes 9 by 11 if 2 is added to both. If 2 is added to both numerator and denominator and denominator. Okay, so there is a fraction. If we add 2 in numerator and as well as we add 2 in the denominator, it will become 9 by 11. If 3 is added to both, then it becomes 5 by 6. Okay, if 3 is added to both numerator and denominator, if 3 is added to both numerator and denominator, it becomes 5 by 6. It becomes 5 by 6. Find the fraction. Find the fraction. Find the fraction. Okay, so let us see how to solve this. Here numerator and denominator is there, so we'll assume x as the numerator and the y as the denominator. So suppose numerator of the fraction is x and that of denominator is y. Okay, suppose the numerator of the fraction is x and that of the denominator is y. So fraction will become x upon y. Okay, now what they are saying, if 2 is added to numerator, so right now numerator is x. When we add 2, it will become x plus 2. Similarly, denominator will become y plus 2, and in that case fraction will be equal to 9 by 11. Okay, so now on adding 2 to numerator and denominator fraction becomes 9 by 11. Okay, therefore I can write x by 2 plus y by 2 is equal to 9 upon 11. So this is the first relation between the variables x and y. Okay, x by 2 plus y by 2 is equal to upon y by 2 is equal to 9 by 11. Okay, on adding to the numerator and denominator, fraction becomes 9 by 11. So definitely we have to simplify this further. So here we do the cross multiplication, 11 and 9 over here. So this will become, therefore 11 x plus 2 is equal to 9 multiplied by y plus 2. So this will become 11x plus 22 is equal to 9y minus 18. That is 11x minus 9y is equal to minus 18 minus 22. So ultimately it will become 11x minus 9y is equal to minus 40. So this I can say is my first equation. Okay. Now there is one more condition. If 3 is added to both numerator and denominator, it becomes 5 by 6. So now on adding 3 to both numerator and denominator, fraction becomes 5/6. Therefore, x plus 3 upon y plus 3 is equal to 5/6. So 6 multiplied by x plus 3 is equal to 5 multiplied by y plus 3. So this gives you 6x plus 18 is equal to 5y plus 15. That is 6x minus 5y is equal to 15 minus 18, and ultimately 6x minus 5y is equal to minus 3. So this is my equation number 2. Okay, so after obtaining the equations, we know that how to solve it by method of substitution. So this is for your homework. After this, you have to solve it by your own. Okay, so once again I am explaining this. See, this is the very first question of this type, that is fraction in which we have numerator and denominator. So it is written if 2 is added to both. There are so many variations are possible. It is quite possible that they say that something is added to the numerator and something subtracted from the denominator, or instead of adding something to numerator and denominator, they might say that subtracting something from numerator and denominator. So that you have to read carefully, and according to that you have to prepare the equation. So here we assumed numerator is x and denominator is y. Now according to question, when 2 is added to both, so when I add 2 in numerator and denominator, then fraction becomes 9/11, and then by cross multiplication you have to solve, and ultimately you have to write the equation in standard form. So 11x plus 22 is equal to 9y plus 18. Okay, here it should be plus 18. Okay, so this will be little bit 11x minus 9y, 18 minus 22. So instead of this, here it will be minus 6. Okay. Now similarly, on adding 3 to both the numerator and denominator, it becomes 5/6. So when I added 3 to the numerator and denominator, it is equal to 5/6. So here again 6x plus 18 is equal to 5y plus 15. 5y when comes over here minus 5y, and 15 minus 18 minus 6. So 6 minus 5 minus, these two are the equations. Here it will be 4. Okay, minus 4, not minus 6. So please note it down, then we will see the next question. Okay, next we will start. Next we will see question number 6. Question number of 13th. 5 years hence, 5 year 5 years hence, the age of Jacob will be the age of Jacob will be 3 times that of his son, will be 3 times that of his son. Five years ago, Jacob's age was 5 years ago, age of Jacob was 5 years ago. Jacob's age was 7 times. Jacob's age was 7 times. Jacob's age was 7 times that of his son. Find their present ages. Okay, we already solved this type of one question in which the concept of age was there. So think for a while, then I will give you its solution. Okay, let us see how to solve this. See, first of all, try to understand the question. 5 year hence. So this word hence represent that we are talking about the age which will come in the future. Okay, if you are not getting with the help of this word, you can see this will be. That means they are talking about the future age. So after 5 years, instead of 5 year hence, we can after 5 years the age of Jacob will be 3 times that of his son. Okay, after 5 years. Then one more relation is given. 5 years ago, the Jacob's age was 7 times that of his son. So both the statements are given. Either in first one is given, gives the relation between the future age, and the second one gives the relation between the past age. And what we have to find? The present age. So we'll start with that only. Suppose the present age of Jacob is X years, and that of his son is Y years. Okay, these are the present ages of Jacob and his son, X and Y. Now when they are asking, when they say 5 years hence, that means 5 years ago, sorry, after 5 years. So if the present age is X, what will be the age after 5 years? For example, if your present age is 13 years, what will be your age after 5 years? We have to add 5. Okay. Similarly, if the present age is X, so age after 5 years will be X plus 5. And if the present age is Y, after 5 years it will be Y plus 5. So here we have to find Here the relation is given ages in after years. Okay, so these are the present ages. Now, okay, after 5 years. Now, after 5 years, age of Jacob will be three times that of his son. Therefore, what it says, after 5 years age of Jacob. So after 5 years age of Jacob, this is the age of Jacob after 5 years, and this will be equal to three times of what? The age of the son, that is again after 5 years. So this gives the first relation. This is the first statement. So when we simplify this, what we'll get? X plus 5 is equal to 3y plus 15. That is x minus 3y is equal to 15 minus 5, and hence I can say my first equation is x minus 3y is equal to 10. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now in the same way we have to write the second equation. So now 5 years ago, now 5 years ago, Jacob's age was 7 times that of his son. Therefore I can write, see, 5 years ago. So 5 years ago age of Jacob was x minus 5. Again, if I say your present age is 13, then what was your age 5 years ago? So 13 minus 5, that is 8, isn't it? So we have to subtract to find the previous age or the past age, and we have to add to find the future age. So x minus 5 is equal to, 5 years ago this was the age of Jacob, but according to question that age was how many times? 7 times that the age of his son at that time. That means at that time what was the age of son? It was y minus 5. Now again, by simplifying this, x minus 5, 7y minus 35. So x minus 7y is equal to minus 35 plus 5. So x minus 7y is equal to minus 30, or here I am also writing, because I have to use substitution method, and in that method I need to find the value of one variable in terms of another variable. So I am doing that thing over here. X is equal to 7y minus 30. This I will say is my equation 2. Okay. So I hope this much is clear to you. Now we have the two equations. Now again I am giving you some time so that you can find the values of x and y. Okay, so let us see how to solve it further. Now what we'll do, we'll put the value of x equal to 7y minus 30 in first. Okay, now putting x is equal to 7y minus 30 in equation 1. Okay, in equation 1. So 7y minus 30, 7y minus 30 minus 3y is equal to 10. Therefore 7y minus 3y is equal to 10 plus 30. So 4y is equal to 40. Therefore y is equal to 10. Okay, and what was y? Y was the age of son. That means his age of his son is, present age of Jacob's son is 10 years. Now we will put y equal to 10 in equation number 2. Okay, now putting y is equal to 10 in equation 2. Okay, so x is equal to 7 multiplied by 10 minus 30. Therefore x is equal to 70 minus 30. Therefore x is equal to 40. So hence we can say age of Jacob is 40 years and age of his son is 10 years. So here I can write thus age of Jacob is 40 years and that of his son is 10 years. Okay, so please note it down, then we'll discuss one more thing in this, but first of all note it down. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So one thing that I want to tell you once again, that you have to take care about this age, future age and the past age. So whatever is the present age, you have to add that much thing and that much years to get the past age, and you have to subtract that much years to get the future age. Don't multiply. Okay, now after this we will see one more thing. See, here we got the present age of let me sort of this Present age of Jacob is 40, isn't it? And the present age of his son is 10. Now we'll verify our result with this. Okay, with the given statements. Okay, present age of Jacob is 40 and son is 10. Now see, 5 years hence, that means after 5 years. So after 5 years Jacob will be 45 and this will be 50. So can we say the age of Jacob is 3 times age of his son? Yes, 15 3s are 45. That means age of Jacob is 3 times the age of 15. Okay. Now similarly, second statement says 5 years ago. So 5 years ago this 40, actually it was 35 and this will be 5. So here again, can we say the age of Jacob is 7 times of age of his son? Yes, 7 5s are 35. So here we can verify our answer as well with the help of the statements. See, never verify the equation with the help of never verify the values with the help of the equation. Always verify with the help of the statements given in the question. Okay, please note down your homework. Okay, so in this lecture we solved word problems as well as we saw how to value of unknown as we saw in question number 12. So we finished the substitution method in this lecture. Now from next lecture onwards I'm going to start new concept, that is method of elimination. Okay, so that is all about this lecture. Now we'll meet in next lecture. Till then, bye. Thank you.